right, well, you're pretty good, but let's see you beat Castlevania today.
Welcome to the final episode. Beat this game today. We're gonna do the grandmother of them all, Castlevania. I don't know, what can I say about this game? Everyone's kind of taking a shot at it. It's iconic. It's a great game, but we're gonna see what we can do with this game here, and kind of glad I had an opportunity to go ahead and get this one out of the way, because like I said, it's one of those iconic games. Now, just not a spoiler alert, but this is a no-death run, and it did take me quite some time, so I'm not that good of a gamer where I can just go in like the wizard and do it in one hit. So if you think that I'm really that good, trust me, I probably played this game about 60 to 80 times in order to get this down. So, but we're gonna kind of help you out on this game. The first level is pretty easy. Kind of sets up some of the rules as far as, you know, the stuff you're gonna have to master. For instance, like the whip, both whipping at the top of the jump, like at the beginning of the jump and the end, to get stuff in the middle, so you're not wasting time. This is kind of in the level of what a speed run might look like. I'm moving pretty consistently across here and skipping across parts, so if you're trying to do speedruns, maybe get some ideas out of this. This section right here, it's pretty random. I don't know of anything that I can tell you, or that I know of, or that I've read, that can consistently get you past this. Basically, there's two sections. So you're waiting for that bat so you can hit it and jump over and skip that lower section. You'll get a bunch of them at the lower levels, and then it will go one just a bit higher, and that's usually the one you can get for sure to skip across that. I don't know, I'm not sure if you can trigger that somehow, but that's the one you're really looking for. The key to this level, before we get past it here, is to have the axe. The axe will be there at that last section and those candles beforehand. It doesn't really matter how many of the power-ups you have. As long as you have the axe, you should be able to take this out. Now, a little trick that I'm pretty sure is the real deal. The block that I destroyed there earlier that had the power-up for number 2, if you get that as soon as the boss starts moving, you get a better pattern. And I've experienced that myself, and it seems to hold pretty true. If you can get that timed outright, he'll pretty much miss you the first 2 or 3 dives that he goes down. If not, he'll definitely come and get you. Okay, so moving on here. This level, pretty much the two things you want to have going forward past here is the cross or the holy water. This is the only section that I use the cross on. It helps me get a lot of the candles so that I can go ahead and get the power-ups. You want to get to the third power-up because it makes Medusa a lot easier on this level. And it seems to be hitting with the cross makes it a lot easier. You don't have to waste time jumping. And I think it actually, because you're kind of doubling up on the hits you're taking at once on these items, it seems to get it faster. So let me see what we got here. Coming up here is like one of the first sections that the jump is pretty tough. As you see, I keep moving and I jump right over the top of the Medusa. You want to just keep moving and get to the very edge, otherwise that Medusa head will hit you. Before then, you saw I let the Medusa head hit me and I jumped up the level. That way you can skip that whole right section. That's pretty easy. Just make sure you time it out at the top of the jump there. Okay, we got the third power up. This is pretty consistent. They're just coming down and coming up. The middle one only goes halfway, so you have to duck. If you jump up in the air, that bat will come down, and as long as you got the cross going, you can pretty much get it. If you need it, there's a block you can destroy there at the bottom of the stairs. Sometimes if you didn't already have it, that's where you can get the third power up. Let's see, moving on. I don't think there's any health in this section that I can remember. I usually never need it, but this is the first section where you see the Medusa heads kind of going up and down. Pretty easy. I'd say a lot of people bitch about the Medusa heads. I found them considerably easier than, I guess, the legend or what people talked about them being really tough. Is pretty much as long as you keep moving, you'll find a way to avoid them. It's when you let them get stacked up on the screen where there's 1 or 2 and then you got a couple enemies, basically you stop moving, to where they're going to give you a lot of grief. So what can I say? Just keep moving. Avoid your temptations of you know what I mean, getting out of the way or flinching or trying to kill it. Just keep going with it. All right, we're on the 3rd level here. I know we're going by quick, but I'm gonna try to get this all out for you. Now, this is where I change over to the holy water. The holy water will always be at that beginning section right there. It's pretty consistent. Holy water is really good, not only for stun locking the bosses or certain enemies, but it's great for, because it's kind of like a fire type situation. It will last a while on the ground, so you can throw those ahead of you, and then enemies that are chasing you will die. This section is kind of a pain in the ass. It's random. You want to hit that first block. It'll take out that first bird. And then, depending on the pattern here, you may get an easy one, you may get a hard one. It just, you never really know with this game. Sometimes you can run straight through and not get hit once and not have to worry about that ghost. And other times you kind of take some hits like I did. But as long as you have the holy water, you should be good. Alright, we're moving into the next section here. Same thing like I was saying earlier, just keep walking. The Medusa heads will not hit you. When you get to the stairs, throw a holy water, hit that candle, and the Medusa head will hit that, and you can hit the skeleton. I kind of botched it there, but trust me, if you time that right, you won't have to worry about that section at all. Alright, don't get that candle that's above you right there. It's usually the stopwatch, and it's not, I mean, it might help you in the next section, but it's not going to help you for the boss. These birds usually have a couple different patterns. When it comes to those things, you kind of have 2 options. You can do what I do, take out their projectiles with your whip, and then block them with the holy water, or you can throw a holy water at them and walk through them, because once they're hit, they're kind of neutralized. But that's, again, like I said, if you're going to speed run, that might be a section, it might be a strategy you use. I don't like it because it's a little more dangerous, so I kind of play it safe when it comes to that. There will always be a second skeleton when you come in there. As long as you whip when you come into that jump, you should be fine. As you can see, I'm not really taking very many hits from the Medusa heads. It's, like I said, it's not a big a deal as everyone makes it out to be. Now, if you need health right there, like I said, you can do this with the crosses as well for this guy. And I believe there's some strategy where when the 2 mummies are like right next to each other and you lock them with the crosses, you can get double damage. But I find it a lot safer and a lot easier to use the holy water, because you're going to need the holy water later to get through the stage itself, whereas if you had the cross, it's a little more difficult. So we're making pretty good time on this too. I want to say the playthrough was about 19 minutes and 30 seconds. I probably wasted a good 2 or 3 minutes facing Dracula, so I got there in about 15 minutes. Alright, with this, come out swinging, go straight at it. Immediately going right. You want to get that first block that I just got because it has the timer. That will help you if you get stuck here and you need to stop people in their tracks. You are going to want to get the holy water. It will always be right there. Now this is kind of iffy on the patterns here. You see the Gilman, and you'll also have that bat that comes out. Sometimes there's people that will come on the left of you. So you make sure, you always play it safe to me, because if you fall off these pillars, you got to start it over again. This was a pretty good section on this, didn't get hit once. Okay, this one, the eagle's gonna drop these little fucking whatever the hell they are, and they're gonna kind of dive bomb you. Kill them as many as you can as soon as they come down. You don't want to get a bunch of these on the screen, and be careful of that right there. That's a good example. They sometimes, 1 out of 10 times, they will drop an item like an axe or a dagger, and you do not want that. For this stage in particular, unless you just are really good at dodging Frankenstein, you want to have the holy water, absolutely. Other stages you can kind of get by without having. I think this is a must. So be careful when you're walking, because you don't want to walk right into one. Keep walking to the right, that guy will never hit you. If you stop at all, you'll get clipped. So here in this section, the second candle has a dagger, so unless you want to mess with it, don't worry about it. Use the holy water to lock these. Just keep throwing it at them, and it will kill them pretty easy. Right there at that block, you'll be able to open up and get some health. You want to make sure you probably get in the realm of about 20 different hearts. That way you'll have enough for holy water. Again, hit this guy with holy water again. It'll make your life a lot easier. If you try to take him out with the whip, you're going to have to dodge his projectile. There'll be another breakaway there, right there at the heart. As you can see, we're going in full life. Get right there in the middle and just throw the holy water at him. And every once in a while, hit him with the whip. You pretty much take care of this boss, no problem. If you let those two go at any point, it's going to be more difficult. Did pretty good timing on that as well. We're cruising. I'm sorry if I'm going fast, but this game does go pretty fast through as far as the playthrough, and I want to make sure I give you as much tips as I can. Okay. Stage 13 here. This one is another one where you have to have the holy water. This is for death. I think, like I said, you definitely could beat it without, but his patterns with the whatever the hell those are, his projectile weapon, are such a pain in the ass. You're much better off just using the holy water. Throw the holy water there, take out that guy, and just keep walking to the right. He'll come right at you and go up the stairs. You got a pretty good run of that. Sometimes you can take a couple hits in this section, and that will definitely not help you out. Throw holy water to the right. He'll always jump on it. And just watch this guy with the bones here. I would use the holy water to take these guys out, just because they're going to usually jump right at you. There's again more life right there, just in case you need it. We didn't get hit, so we're pretty good. If you throw a holy water straight out in the first jump, you get a good chance of catching this knight, and then you can. I messed that one up, but then you can stun lock him, and usually he'll die with the holy water itself. If you chase him to the right, usually he'll disappear right there. And that's another thing about this game. A lot of the enemies will disappear off the screen if you can get them. If you can keep running left or right and pass them, they won't continue on, and they usually won't respawn. So if you get a particular enemy and you don't want to worry about him chasing, you just keep running, and eventually once he gets off screen, he'll be gone. Take care of that guy that way. There will be another health. There's one health in the halfway point of this level in case you need it. I'll tell you about it when we get to it. There's another knight. Throw the stun or throw the holy water. Like I said, you can either take him out or you can stun lock him and go through him. Kind of nearing the halfway point of this level. All right. This is the respawn area if you should die. Again, I'm not trying to say that you have to use the holy water, but if you die in this section right here, you don't, because that I know of, unless you just get really lucky. There's a cross right there, but if you get really lucky and maybe get another holy water, it's probably the only way you're going to beat it, because like I said, without holy water for death, you're pretty much fucked. So once you get in the later levels of these and you don't have the items you need, it raises the difficulty tenfold. There is meat right there at the right side. You just break away the blocks underneath the stairs. Alright, watch this pattern. This is the one that everybody hates. Like I said, as long as you keep moving and avoid these Medusa heads and stun lock this guy right here, or both of those guys, you shouldn't have any problem at all. Again, be careful with some of these candles. Sometimes they will give you another item or another secondary weapon other than holy water, and if you do, you're screwed. With this one, time it so that you're on that block where I'm at right there, and that you throw it before he comes down. The holy water will lock him in, because he'll come down and he'll get right into its damage area, and that will lock him. If you try to wait until he comes down completely and then throw it at him, you're more than likely going to allow him to generate his weapons, and once his weapons come out, man, you don't want to fuck with him at all. So do it beforehand and time it out right, and you should be fine. Do a throw one, hit him, throw one, hit him, throw one, hit him. That's the safe pattern. Okay, this is an interesting level. You're gonna want to have full power-ups, so with the full power-ups of these, it comes with breaking candles and whatnot. So definitely get the stopwatch right there at the beginning. It's only on that ledge. You want to have it to get through the first part of this level, because Well, I'll show you here in a minute. And you want to have as many hearts as you can. It takes 5 hearts to do 1 stop on the stopwatch. So definitely get as many as you can because there's not that many to get. In a minute here, I'm going to show you why you need the stopwatch, at least for this section. Don't worry, at the end of the game, towards Dracula, you'll get a chance to either use the cross or use the holy water. So you can use either method. So it's really not going to matter if you switch out. The only thing I guess it wouldn't matter is you can, if you kept the holy water, you can keep the power up itself and have the full power up going into Dracula, and it might make him a bit easier, but you should be alright. Right there is going to always be the dagger, so make sure you don't hit it and walk into it. At the right there where that little guy is where there is some health down there. You're going to use the stopwatch to pretty much lock these guys in, because it can be pretty difficult to get through these stair levels with those guys. Definitely keep breaking open all the candles that you can, that way if you're trying to get the you know, your power-ups, then it comes a lot easier. Okay, we're at the last stage here. Right here is going to be where the cross is. And then at the far left candle, once you get into the final stage there where Dracula is where you can get holy water. So either one will work fine. It just depends on what you're more comfortable with. I know Benevolent Dick is a big fan of the cross for this section. I tried using it a couple times. I don't like it. The only thing I think I would use it preferably would be if you had all 3. If you're on the 3rd power up, that way you could throw 3 crosses at once. It might make them a little bit easier to take care of, but then again, like I said, sometimes it's hard to get that power up itself, so I'd rather stick with the holy water. This may seem a little bit repetitive right here, but what you want to make sure you got enough hearts, because whether you're using the crossed method or you're using the holy water method, you got to have hearts, and unless you just stopped and got, you know, some of the few candles that there were earlier, you're going to need to kind of do this to get enough to take him out. Because you definitely do not want to go into Dracula not having enough hearts. Okay, there's the holy water. Now with the first Dracula's first section here, as long as you time and do a kind of walk towards him in his cycle of him throwing those 3 projectiles, you should be able to hit him, time it where you hit him every time. My suggestion would be to, as soon as you jump, hit the attack button so that you'll have a better chance of hitting him in the head. If you do it later, usually you'll miss it. And just keep dodging. Only thing I would say is, once you get to the halfway point of whatever this 1 second, 2 second little timing is, as he disappears and reappears, just keep walking. Commit to one direction or the other, because if you get him to where he get a bad post up, to where he appears really close on top of you, you'll take a damage hit, and you only get about 4 to 5 on this version or the second version of Dracula, so no time to be fucking around. As you can see, I'm gonna miss a few of these. It's a little bit difficult, and you got to really time this jump out appropriately, because if you do it too early or too late, he'll change the direction of the projectile and hit you. So it's pretty precise. This is why some people like to do it with the cross for this section. You just got to make sure you don't hit the holy water on the left if you want to do the holy water on the second section, because you can throw 2 or 3 of those crosses at him and it can make him die quicker. Because you won't have to worry about hitting this precise jump for the whip. Now you can get really close to him and time it out and just jump straight up and hit him with a whip, but to me it's a little bit harder. So I know some people are getting bored because I'm taking a while with this, but to make it this far and to die, I've done it a lot of times, and I didn't want to have to do this game for the 60th or 80th time that I've been doing it, because I've gotten pretty proficient at running the rest of the game. Got one more hit. The only thing I would tell you on this is make sure he's on the left or the right, because it makes the second version of him start out, and it gives you a little bit more time to be in a position to dodge this attack, because sometimes they'll do a little jump, sometimes they'll do a big jump, and that's going to make the difference in you dodging it or not. And you want to use this holy water to stun lock him, because the only way that I know of to hit him is to hit him in the head. So as you can see, I only have one more hit before I'm dead. So like I said, it's pretty You definitely want to get as much as you can out of going left to right. Alright, one more hit. There you go. Done and done. There it is, no death run of Castlevania. Like I said, if it looked easy, it's not easy. It's a fairly difficult game to memorize. Not as hard as like Ninja Gaiden, but it's still pretty difficult. Just in case any of you all out there are interested or curious to know, after you beat this game the first time around, you will restart the level and it will continue numbering it off 19, 18, 20, and so forth until you beat the game again. That will put you into hard mode for this game, so in case you ever wanted to do another challenge, you can go ahead and do that. I played a little bit through. I almost doubled my score. I got to level 31. It's really hard. They add a lot more enemies, a lot more Medusa heads, a lot more stuff. The damage doesn't seem to be taken more for what you get hit per thing, so that makes it a little more fair, but there's more spawning enemies, and that's what makes it kind of a pain in the ass. But yeah, if you're up for a challenge, definitely give that a try after you beat this game. One last thing to say, sorry about being late on this video. I had a little technical difficulties, and so I had to kind of do some more reshoots when I got home, but now it's going up. So this was supposed to be the Halloween episode, but it's a little late. But either way, enjoy it, and hopefully these tips and tricks helped you. And remember, rate, comment, subscribe, and also suggest some more games for the future.